Okay, it's Laura again. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to let you know how I would approach this guide, okay? One possible way, okay? There isn't just one way to do anything, but if I were working on this project, this is how I would approach this guide. I would actually start with books on the history of genocide, okay? Books are wonderful because they provide you with broad overviews of subjects, and they also go into depth about that subject. Okay, so all of these books that I chose are general treatments of the topic, and they are fairly current. You could begin with something like, I just clicked on that and it's going to open the book, the Oxford Handbook of Genocide Studies. And to get into that, you're going to click on View eBook. When you click on View eBook, you're going to get this screen which prompts you for your Gothic ID. Those of you who have gotten into library resources from off campus will find this familiar. So then you just type in your Gothic ID and then you're in. Okay, and the reason that you need to type your ID is because all of these resources are subscription based, which means the library pays for them. We pay a lot of money for them so you can get access to them. Okay, so the Gothic ID is a way of authenticating you so that we know that you're a member of the NJCU community. So once you're here, you'll see the series. You don't really need to know that. The authors, the publisher, the year, and then a summary of the book. And then if you click on PDF, it's actually going to launch the book for you. Once you are here, okay, you can look over on the side. This tells you very important. It tells you publisher permissions. So this is how much you can print, email, copy, paste, download. Most of these are unlimited. And what that means is that as many people as that want to can look at this book at the same time. Isn't always the case. I think it's going to be the case with pretty much all of the ebooks I've selected for you. So if 4, 5, 6 people in your class want to use the book and look at it and download it, that's not going to be a problem. Right? So you can either scroll down, right? I'm just clicking on my keyboard. Or, right, there's your table of contents. Right? Gender and genocide, state and genocide, genocide in memory, the law and genocide, sociology and genocide, anthropology, social psychology, and so on. Now you see modern and early modern. You can also look here on the side and look at all of the chapters. So most of the ones you're doing, I think all of them are 20th century, right? So I think it's going to be late modern world. Okay, so once you find a chapter you're interested in, you can save it to your computer. You can email pages to yourself. You can print them. Here's your citation. This will give you a citation in APA, MLA, Chicago, Turabian style, whatever you need. Dictionary you can use to look up words in the book that you're unfamiliar with. Highly recommended. Export allows you to send the citation to citation management software like RefWorks. We're not going to go over that today. If you're interested in that, we do have a RefWorks video that I can send you. And then Google Drive, well, you all know what Google Drive is, right, if you use it. So you can also download the book to Google Drive. Okay, so we'll go back. And then we will go back again and again and again until we get back to this page, back to the guide. Now you'll notice this is actually open, right? I've got this open in another tab. And let me close these just so I'm not distracted by all these little tabs. So again, these are general books on the history of genocide, okay? And this is definitely where I would begin. I would pick a book and just start reading it. Then, once you've done that, you can look through books on your specific genocide, okay? So I've chosen selected books in all of your different topics. Like, let's say you want to look at the Cambodian. If you click on Cambodian, what I did was, in WorldCat Discovery, I did a search. You can see the search I did up here, Cambodia Genocide. And then these are the books that the search returned. There are 43 ebooks on the Cambodian genocide, 23 print books, but since the library isn't open, the print books aren't going to be helpful to you right now. And again, same thing. You can do here, the Pol Pot regime, race, power, and genocide in Cambodia under the Khmer Rouge, 1975 to 1979. We're going to click on View eBook. Because I've already typed in my Gothic ID, I don't get that page again asking me for the Gothic ID. And then we're going to go to the PDF full text. All right, here we go. Here are your chapters. And going back to the guide, all of these will be searches that I executed for you. I don't usually do that, right? I usually will show students how to do their own searches, but given the circumstances and the amount of stress that I imagine you're experiencing, I thought I would do a little something to make your lives easier. And so here are books on the Nazi genocide, right? The origins of Nazi genocide from euthanasia to the final solution. So I was impressed actually with how many ebooks we do have available on your topics. So no one will have, the most difficult one is going to be the Rohingya, because that is the most current one. So if you take a look at this, it's going to be very different from the other ones, because this also, in addition to books, right? There's one book about the Rohingya crisis of people facing extinction. What you'll see is what might be a little confusing to you all, right? Because these are not actually books. What these are government documents, right? And so it'll tell you Congress, House, Committee on Foreign Affairs, Subcommittee on Asia and the Pacific. So these are going to be all kinds of government reports, government hearings, government proclamations, okay? And so they're sort of like books, except they're not like books. So whoever is doing the Rohingya crisis might find this one a little bit more challenging. Okay, so to recap, what we just looked at were the books that I selected for you, and then I showed you some of the searches that I did on your specific genocides. I just want to show you one more thing. Within the general books, let's go into this one. You can also search within the book, which is very helpful. So even though these books are generally about genocide and the history of genocide, you can also use the search within feature, and you can type your own search, Cambodia. There you go. So it's going to show you all of the pages that mention Cambodia, right? There's Pol Pot regime. I probably should have done that. So let me go back and do that. I can type in Pol Pot, and then it's going to show me all of the pages that mention Pol Pot. And you can see they're fairly close together. Here's 223, 222. Okay, and then you can just go to that page. See that? And then it's highlighting all of the instances of Pol Pot for you. See that? So that's how it looks for Pol Pot. Let's see if it mentions the Armenian genocide also. Yeah, there you go. So there's also extensive treatment of the Armenian massacres. Okay, so what I just showed you was how to search within a book. And this is going to be most useful for these general books once you take a look at them, if you want to see if they mention your specific genocide, and most of them will. So next we'll take a look at the databases.